Yeah. Welcome back. You already know what it is. Your boy, the HAVOC. The infamous Sour on Shade 4-5. And I told you I got a special guest in the building today. A very, very good friend of mine's. The one and only ALC, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise. Make some noise for ALC.
You know I had to come here for this, man. Come on. Have got his own show?
Yo.
Are you kidding me?
Yo. First of all, I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you for coming through.
This is dope, man.
You know, there's a few things that we definitely have to talk about. But before we talk about the legendary run that you on right now, I just want to say, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to interview ALC, and he's going to be thinking in his fucking head, like, motherfucker, you know the answer to that already. Like,
We'll act like we'll act like we just met. Yeah.
Right. So the right. So the album's out. We got the album out. We spent some time together doing a press run for this album.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To give the album that extra push that it deserved. You understand what I'm saying? How did you feel making this album? You know, the songs that you produced on it. What was that feeling like, man?
It was like necessary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was urgent. It was so many different feelings. You know what I mean? I can't even front because, you know, when I think of Mobb Deep as a group, as an entity, it's like it meant so much to me even before I met you guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then I moved forward to once I met you guys, and it was like, man, my life is different because of you guys. You know what I mean? And I say this all the time, but it's, I think we got to refresh people's memory about it, especially because we here on your show. Everything changed after I met you guys. So, there's so much that happened from then to now. But to fast forward to now, just working on this record, man.
Right.
That shit meant everything to me. You know what I mean? As far as like being able to uphold this fucking legendary brand that I was let into. Y'all let me in, you know what I mean? So even from day one, I always felt like I had to make you guys proud on some shit. Like if you were a recruit for a sports team, like you want to make sure you recruit, you know what I'm saying? I always wanted to make sure I did my thing in your guys' eyes. And then now that we don't have our brother, it's like I want to make sure that we doing justice for him as well. You know what I mean? So it meant the most to me. You already know that. I mean, shit, some days I just got like tears and I just be wiping them and people don't even know. I just play it off and change the subject. You know what I'm saying? We all go through that because we men. But I mean, it was tough. Looking at the old footage and just fucking kind of just tripping out on the whole mission, the journey, the mission, whatever you call it, that of life that you're on. And it's like my DNA is so much a part of it is Mobb Deep that it's like for now in 2025 for me and you to still be brothers like from the day we met and be able to just put it back together. And it's like it means everything, man. And I just I want to thank you too. You know what I'm saying? For from day one, always accepting me and giving me a palette to paint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it was like, man, everything happened from there. So Mobb Deep album, like, come on now. It's like, we felt it when we were making it. You know what I mean? Man. So now that the whole world has it, it feels great to know because, when we were talking about it, it was like January or February, I think I was doing promo with Larry June and 2 Chainz, and I mentioned it in an interview that we had a record. And I went overseas, man, after that. And everywhere I went, they wouldn't ask me. They didn't want to hear about anything else. They just wanted to know, and it dawned on me how powerful Mobb Deep was because I was lucky enough to travel with y'all. Like, we did mad overseas tours over the years. Yeah. And we got to see it back then. So it's just a trip to see how that lasted all the way to now. And those, France, shout out to France, shout out to Germany, London, my God, Spain. And these are all places that we went together. Copenhagen. Yeah, man. It just tripped me out. So, I mean, thank you to all the fans that always been rocking.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Crazy.
And I remember, like, when we was starting out the album, because we always talked about making the album, like, you know what I mean? It's bittersweet or whatever, how we going to start it. But I couldn't even think of a better place to start the album than going to your crib because, like, your studio, it feels like my second home. I could write in that studio. You understand what I'm saying? You ever go to a studio and you feel like you can't work in there? It's like the flow just feels off
Absolutely.
no matter what you do. I don't feel that when I go to your studio. I love writing to your beats. Like, you know what I'm saying? I do some of my best writing to your beats. You understand what
For
I'm saying?
sure.
Like, and people don't. I don't know if they know. Me and you got an album out that we did together called The Silent Partner. And yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like that was some of my best writing.
And that shit aged like wine too. When you go
Like,
back to it
yeah.
now, I think I went back to it recently. Like I remember that time because you were just in your bag and pulled up like, yo, we just kind of decided to do a record. But I always looked at you as a threat as an MC from day one. Like even when we did Backwards Twisted,
Oh, yeah.
that was really your solo joint. That was around the same time we did the Illest. So I remember we were at Hit Factory, and we because Mobb Deep used to work 24/7. You know what I'm saying? But every now and then, Hav might just be working on some solo shit or P. This was one day that we booked studio time. Me and you, we went to the Hit Factory.
Yeah.
And I remember Nas. I don't know if he remembers, but he pulled up that day and was like, "What the fuck is going on in here? What's Hav? Oh shit!" Because it was like we were in Hav solo mode, and over the years, you know what I'm saying? It was times that I could think of crazy records you did, but I mean, I always took you very serious. Obviously, your beats is the sound, fucking Queens, and just a whole entire genre in itself. But your pen was always dangerous, and when we did Silent Partner, that was like a good. You can go back to that shit right now. That record stands the test of time to me.
Hell yeah. And album in stores now. You know what I mean? Infinite.
Yes, sir.
It's in stores now. Everybody make sure y'all go pick that up. Production by myself and ALC. We definitely had a good time, making this album. And I got to thank you because right now you couldn't catch Al at a busier fucking time.
I don't know how this shit happened,
like,
man.
I feel like there's like 3 of you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not exaggerating because when I look at you, what you're doing right now, it's like a sight to behold. It's like every other month or every other week you coming out with like a new project, and I'm looking at it like, how the fuck is he doing that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how?
I'm going to start a hotline for Alchemist fatigue. If you're out there and you have too much Alchemist, call this number. I got y'all. If you had too much, I got a hotline for you.
But obviously they don't have enough. They can't get enough is what I want to say. Obviously they can't get enough. And right now, the shit that you're doing needs to be studied. And you know how they put that kind of meme out there where they be like, yo, this needs to be studied. No, this is really some shit to be studied.
Yo,
bro.
son, let's say this, man, because I've known you for so long. Okay, we work literally at the same rate. And you've known from day one, whenever you see me, I'm in the lab cooking. Whenever I go see you, you're cooking. And sometimes the stars line up.
True.
And records all come out.
True. But you're not scared to pull the trigger. That's what I think the difference is. The difference is you pull that fucking trigger.
True.
And you don't leave nothing in that computer. Because there's sometimes I come to your crib.
Yeah.
And there's tracks that I made like 5 years ago. And I'm like, you be like, yo, what the fuck?
What are we doing with this?
Right. And you remind me. You know what I'm saying? And I just recently thought about it. And I'm like, yo, ALC is a curator. And I want to know, where does that fucking come from? Because I go in your house, you know, I'm nosy, you know what I'm saying? And I'll see like collage books sitting around that you don't even fucking talk about. Like that I know is going to be valuable in the next 10 years.
I got Tourette's. I can't sit still,
what
man.
The fuck
I
is that?
gotta do something. I gotta do something. Now, I mean,
have you ever mentioned the collage books that you have, or did I just blow the spot up?
Nah, it's just art. You know, I be doing different stuff, messing around. But I mean, I think at some point, so you know how when you make beats as a producer and you got your name and you're like, yo, I'm gonna get my name, I'm gonna get my beats all over the place, and then the collection of them will be like my sound. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I always looked at that as the mission, right? But then over time, once I started AOC Records, I started looking at labels. And I looked at like Rifkin and what he did with Loud. I looked at Stone's Throw. I looked at Rhyme Sayers, these smaller brands, and it was like, the people who run these labels, the things they were signing, the artists they were signing was like an extension of their taste. And I started looking at it like, that's kind of like me with my beats. Like a collection of my beats shows you my taste. And then these labels had a taste based on the people that they were working with. So I started looking at it like, wow, that's a bigger thing. I never thought of it like that. Like, okay, maybe if with my label with the things that I'm doing and the type of art and the releases, it'll have a style just like Alchemist had a style as a producer. So I just started looking at it like that, and also being free, being back home on the West around my family. You know, I just spent 12 years in New York, and we were in the trenches. Every one of them, every single day. You remember those were the single days. That's when we were out. You know, I mean, my 20s and 30s. What the stuff I did with Hav, I could say like I lived 20 lives, 20 to 30. Like the stuff, just living in New York City, just like yeah, man. I did so much at that time. So now I feel like, oh, the sky's the limit. Because I don't really see anything in front of us anymore. You know what I mean? As far as like hurdles to jump.
Do you feel like you creating a blueprint right now? Like, do you feel that? Or are you just too close to it to realize it? I don't know.
I don't know if it's like something that I'm creating. I think maybe in the end, when you look at it, you could learn from it. But just by virtue of what it was, because I don't have a grand scheme. I swear to God. Every time I'm like focusing on what's in front of me at the moment. If it's a project or a beat, and I make sure to do that to my best, and then over time the collection of it, leads to something. But it's like I got to give credit to all the people that I studied. You know what I mean? So I would never be able to stand here and be like, yo, I got the blueprint. This is cookie cutter. You just take this and run with it. But I do know I have some things that work for me, and I know that there's a couple friends that I've been able to be like, yo, take this playbook, erase all my writing, put your writing in it. And use my playbook, and me and you talk about this all the time because we compare notes all the time. Anything that I have, you have, and that if I could do that, that's better than anything because I want all my guys to eat. You know they say it's lonely at the top. That I think whoever started that was a fucking liar, bro. Why you got to be at the top by yourself? I look at it. It doesn't have to be lonely at the top. We could be up there together, like
no doubt.
I'm taking my friends with me, man. So it's like, yo. You know the deal. Like we always over the years compared notes and we were able to, you know what I'm saying? I learned so much from you. You know that, and we, you know that camaraderie.
And likewise, I learned shit from you because I'm like a life student. Shit like that. I do want to ask you this though. Do you? All right. Without, I know you. I don't want to put you on blast, so you don't have to say no names, of course. But are there projects that you turned down?
Not like projects that I turned down,
or
but I think
artists that you kind of like, you know.
I mean, there's people
you're too busy, maybe.
I think it over the years, like there's people that I linked up with. I was real excited to link with, and it didn't work. Other people were linked up on the women. It became a great working relationship and friendship. For me, it's just random. You know what I mean? I'll say this though. I say there's artists that I've slept on. You know what I mean? And it took me some time. And then once I paid attention, I'll be the first to tell you, like, because you can't pay attention. Like, I like to be in tune. I like, sometimes I'll put you up on some new stuff, but there's stuff that's not on my radar, or I just don't get it at first. You know, I'll give you an example. You know, Larry June. My brother Larry, like, you know, that's my brother now. Like, I love him, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, at first, my man Jay Worthy put me up on it, and he was dope, but I just didn't know if we had a lane. You know, sometimes you hear something and be like, he's dope, but I got to figure out what bag I could go into so I could mesh my shit with his. And years later, it hit me. And it was like, and I realized it. I forgot it was a song he did, and that one song clicked, and I realized, yo, we could do something. And from there, we went to Lincoln and making a record and making some of that's one of my favorite projects, Great Escape with Larry June. So it was like, I'll say that sometimes I'm missing stuff. I'm missing it. You know, so I got to double back.
But you really, you on point with all of the projects that you do because I try to keep up and I try to listen to the artists that you fuck with. And when I listen to them, I'm like, yo, these guys are special. You know what I mean? So I think that you on point with the artists that you work with. That's just without a question. I want to pivot real quick to the Erykah Badu project that you just did. You know what I'm saying? I know you did interviews on that already, but I have a question that I wanted to ask about that. Like, do you feel like this project was left field for you? And if it was left field, is that like, does that even motivate you more to tackle something that you didn't do before, or have you done something like this before?
Definitely, I don't think I've done anything. I'm sure I haven't done anything like this before, and it pushed me slightly out of the zone of comfort in the best way possible.
Right.
Like, same way I learned stuff from you and learned from Muggs and learned from Premier. Yo, Erykah is a mastermind. She is a genie. She is so many things at one. And it was like, I think where we connected though was that I just came through, like, I was playing her beats like I would play you beats.
No doubt.
Like, I wasn't thinking about something that would mesh to her, for better or worse, because we just became cool. Yo, she makes beats crazy. Like, she is nice literally at everything. You know, it's actually unfair how dope she is at everything. But it was like, then she just became my homie, so I was just playing her beats. And it was like, I think that's how it worked, because she's a B-girl at heart. You know what I mean? And when she matched the melodies to them, it blew my fucking mind. And I feel like this is something that I needed. Like, I've been waiting for a long time to do something that wasn't just straight rap.
Right.
You know, because rap is everything for me. We know that. But it's like a melody, when they hit those beats that we do, those raw hardcore beats, or a 2-bar loop and somebody's singing on it, it makes the beat jump. And it was like, once we started working, I saw where it was going. But then I had to chill out. Because you know how we record, the vocals are done, you might do it a second time. All right, it's time to mix.
Right.
She did some shit that blew my mind, and I was like, this is perfect, I'm ready. And she was like, slow down.
Right.
Hold on.
Right.
I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm going to scratch it. I'm going to her process is ill.
Right.
And I really had to, like, learn how to slow down and chill out.
Copy.
And then, I mean, she pushed me to a place where I'm like, I'm real excited to share that record. And, you know, it's a trip because it's funny how things draw right back to the Mobb, because the way we connected was over the realest beat.
The realest fucking
How
beat.
crazy is
I
that?
remember when you sent, I think you sent it to me, or you let me hear
Yeah,
it.
at
You
soundtrack.
let me hear it. I was fucking blown away, because that's one of my favorite Mobb Deep tracks. Alchemist produced Mobb Deep tracks. I perform it to this day. You know, let me ask you a question. Did you expect her to be how she was when you started working with her?
I really didn't know. You know, I was like anyone else. I was intimidated. You know, like, I was afraid to look at her in the eyes. And, you know, she's very, you know.
I'm afraid to look at her in the eyes. I haven't met her yet. You know,
she's something else, man. So I had to work through that, you know what I mean, to get to a place where we could create, you know, because at some point I had to snap out of it and be like, yo, come on, man. You hear it. Come on, she's fucking with you. So stop being a fan and get to it. You know what I'm saying? And it was a trip. But yeah, we built in a short time, we built a real cool relationship. Like, that's like my homie. Like, it's like, I'm still bugging when I'm on stage with her.
Right.
Like, we tour.
Yeah.
And I'm like on stage with her, and
I saw it.
I can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, this is the type of shit I want to share with P.
Yeah.
Because he told me a story, and we spoke about it. But when I don't know if were you there that time at Electric Lady?
I don't think I was.
He told me they met at Electric Lady back in the day, and yeah, it was just a trip. Like, I wish. Yeah, man, I think about P a lot with this whole shit, especially because the realest, you know, that led me to work with her. So
I bet.
You know what I mean?
Man,
Crazy.
yo, that's so dope. I can't wait to hear that fucking project, and I know everybody else can't wait to hear it either. I have a selfish statement, a selfish question that I want to ask you. How was it? I just want to ask. I was upset when you moved from New York. I felt like really like, you know, my best friend just left. I was like, why? I was like, why? Why do you gotta go back? But the more I come out to LA, the shit just makes sense, right? And plus, this is your fucking home. You know what I mean? LA is your home. Was it easy to move back to you know, LA for you?
It was it was kind of gradual, because for a while I had the crib in New York and still in LA, and then I built the studio in LA, because, you know, all the years that we were rocking, we used to come to the crib. I just had my apartment studio where we did so many joints, but it was like once I built the studio, you know, rest in peace, my pops was still alive, and him and Gotti actually, one day we were in LA just maybe doing a Mobb show,
right?
And he was like, Gotti was like, build a studio right here, and my dad was like, for real? Like, yeah, and he's like, if you build it, and that was the beginning. We built the studio, and you know, years later I moved back, and I miss New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna front because I feel like I did so well. A lot of people to this day still think I'm from New York. You know what I mean? And it's like, but when I go back, it's to trip because it's like a new York, and it's like I miss the version of New York that when we were reigning supreme, when it was like, oh, we ruled the city. We went to the clubs. It was our time, and my friends. Now you go, it's the same clubs, different people in them. It's like when you go back to your old high school or something, like, because New York is kind of a city like me. People come to there, they live, and then they move. Right. But it's like, man, them days, the New York days, and we used to ride around and go up to Washington Heights, go by Hayes, and go ride around from 8th Street to 34th Street and just make that little circle. And I mean, those were like some of the best days. And it's funny because when I came out to New York and started hanging with y'all, I turned into the White Vulture. See, I wasn't like that before. See, because hanging with the mob, you in the sandbox, back then, it was tough.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Let me make it a little clear. I wasn't as aggressive, you know, when I lived in L.A. I might have just had a girlfriend. When I moved to New York and started hanging out with Mobb Deep, I became a different type of person.
Turned him into an animal, ladies and gentlemen.
That's why P called me the White Vulture, you know what I mean? And it was like, yo, it was crazy because I would go back home to L.A. and my friends would be like, what the fuck happened to you? And I'm just bagging shit. I'm in a different, I have a different aura because you have to understand when we're rolling with the mob, you know, we were 20, 30 deep. You were in the sandbox. If you didn't have game and you had to just be, it was a different time, you know, and it was funny because that shit helps you also grow and be more confident in general. You know what I'm saying? Being around the mob, you had to be on your A game. So like, you know, it helped me. It enhanced me.
It enhanced you. And now we're talking to Alchemist, the family man. You know what I mean?
How crazy is that?
That's crazy. You know, because I know another Al.
Yes.
And then when we started working on this album and I seen your family come through. That was another inspiration.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's a trip, you know, like that makes me think of P too, because like right after, like my father and P passed around the same time, and right after that, I had kids. And it was so bittersweet because it was like, damn, like I know P would trip out. I know he would just be bugging because I have a boy and a girl.
That would be Uncle P, and he has a boy and a girl.
Totally, and I'm looking at old footage that we got, and he got some footage in the crib with them, and it's like the same age. Wow. And it just tripped me out, like, you know, how life is. But, I mean, I couldn't be happier. Like, the shit that we did is in my brain and my memories, and it's like nobody could take that shit away from us. Now we got a different agenda. You know, I do this for the kids, you know, and just for the legacy, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, they can't say we didn't do it.
They definitely can't say we didn't do it. And I don't know if you ever spoke about this before, but when P was locked up and he was gone, you held down his kids.
I mean, come on, we all
held them down.
Listen,
does the world know that?
I mean, honestly, I would do that
because it's something that you don't brag about. But ladies and gentlemen, this man right here, when Prodigy went down for those 3 years or whatever it was, this man held down Prodigy's kids.
For sure.
And a lot of people, a lot of blood relatives wouldn't have did that for their peoples. And what made you do that? I know the reasons, the answer is obvious, but how did you get to that place?
It was automatic, and I didn't have kids at the time, and you know, I always looked at them as like my little, you know what I'm saying? Like I loved them like family, and obviously it was just, you know, the summer times, you know, little P would come out, or I would, you know, take him for some times, and that to me was an honor because I know how much they meant to P, and it was like, yo, we a community, we're a team, so you know how community works. One person steps up, and it was crazy because in hindsight it was almost like training for me because I wasn't a father yet,
right?
You know what I mean? And I had to have a little guy around me making sure he was straight. I used to be in there working, and he used to have to remind me, yo, we got to eat, Al. Because, you know, I was like, that was the only part. Because, you know, I'll just be working forever, but it was so dope, and it was a blessing. And
Dope.
You know,
man.
those I love those
Salute.
kids like my own. You know what I'm saying? So,
Salute to you, really, like for real. Salute to you. I want to pivot again. I know you got this Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist Alfredo.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's out. I remember you was out in Japan. I really didn't even know why you was in Japan. But then when I watched YouTube, I was like, oh, that's why the fuck he was in Japan. You really know how to hold water.
Yeah.
How was it filming in Japan, doing those videos for the Alfredo 2 project?
Shit was fun, man. It was actually a trip to go that far without doing a show.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're just going here for a week and we're gonna film this movie. But we did the situation with Virgin, and I can't front. Like, they kind of looked out and was just like, they gave us the bag and let us cook.
Right.
And it was like, we're gonna go out there and shoot a fucking movie. And we did it in 1 week's time. We shot a bunch of videos. We brought the crew. We had a crew out there also. And Freddie's team is real tight. You know, shout to Lambo and the rest of the crew and Nick who shot the film. And yeah, we were just like, yo, let's shoot a fucking movie. It's a short film. Why not? You know what I'm saying? We got the bread. We could do it. And it was fun. Freddie's like an actor anyways. He's in real movies and shit. So
he is.
Yo, he could act for real. Yeah, and he's in actual movies.
I watched one of his videos where he played like this curly pimp. What song was that? Because that's a fucking dope ass song,
the Mad Lib album. I
like
forget the name.
Like the band was mad or some shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
he was
the
like,
Five
fuck you, I ain't
Heartbeats.
paying you. Like, I was smoking weed that day too. I was high watching this shit. I was like, yo, this guy is fucking good.
Yeah, now he's actually a good actor. It put pressure on me because, like, you know, I wanna get to that level. You know what I'm saying? Because acting is actually, I never thought I would like it. You would love this shit too. It's actually, I'm telling you, I thought the same thing.
Right.
But once you get in there, there's an art to it too that I'm starting to trip out on. You know, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
dope.
Japan was, you know, any reason to go to Japan.
Dope.
First time I went was with you. You remember that? We did Club Harlem. That was China.
Oh, that was China? Oh, okay. All right. We got this inside joke where, what song is that by Big Daddy Kane?
Woo! Yeah.
Warm It Up, Kane.
Warm It Up, Kane.
Warm It Up. We got this inside joke. When Warm It Up, Kane is going through my head, I'm on a mission and I'm walking down the hallway. We're not going to tell you why.
If that's played in Havoc's head, like that's the theme that plays in his head sometimes.
Yeah, that's a theme that plays in my head. That shit gets me hyped. I can't finish off this interview without talking about the Hit Boy project. You and the new you and Hit Boy project. You let me see that fucking video. It's not even a fucking video. It's a. Can I say it?
Yeah.
It's a fucking another movie.
It's a movie, man.
Another fucking movie, bro.
Yeah. And shout out to my brother Hit Boy. This was his brainchild, really, because we have an album that we made. We did some records a couple years ago, just collaborating and shit. Like, he does a beat, I do a beat, rap. We both rap. So we worked on a whole record, and it was like, yo, fuck doing 4 videos, man. Let's same thing like the Freddie. We did this before the Freddie thing though. We shot this one on film, and it's a real movie.
When you say film, tell them so they know like, the fucking severity. Yeah, of
like
shit.
Actual analog film that is like expensive. I forget if it was 35 millimeter. I think it was.
Like that's very expensive.
Yeah,
and sometimes you only could do one fucking take.
For sure, and it's like you got, you know, editing is a pain in the ass too because you got to transfer it. But it paid off when I saw it, and it was a really good cast of people in it, and the album is real dope. And I'm excited because, man, this album, I think it just we surprise people because it's like we're giving a lot of ourselves in it. Really, where we're at in our lives and shit, we're kind of similar. We both have kids the same age, and it's crazy. And you know, I want to thank you because Hav came through and for blessing us on the album.
Thanks for letting me
for real
spit a verse.
That meant a lot. So the album's coming soon, and you know, but yeah, I'm right now. The only thing we riding high off is this Mobb Deep Infinite wave right now.
Album in stores now.
Yes, sir.
It is. We released Against the World. Produced by me. Came with the Taj Mahal fucking banger. Produced by ALC, which is definitely one of my most favorite songs on the fucking album. I'm not saying that because you hear, you know, I like to spread the love. You know what I'm saying? Where the love is due. I remember when you sent that song to me, and you sounded so excited. And I know if you get excited about a beat, then the beat must be fucking dope. And I remember getting it like, fuck, how am I even gonna write to this, yo? You know what I
Killed
mean?
that shit. What
like,
do you mean?
It was
man?
like, but it was too good. Like, it really was good. And then Prodigy was already spitting to it. Like, he originally rhymed to it already. You understand? How do you know how to put what beats to, Prodigy's lyrics?
That shit is so much pressure because, like most producers can relate to this. Like, if you make beats, 9 times out of 10, if you're going to mix an acapella, you're going to mix a Prodigy acapella because his voice sounds good on everything. You might have an average beat to play a P verse and be like, damn, this beat is fire. But see, that's also the problem because then every beat sounds good. So you got to be super picky.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then I was just like, just having patience when I was making beats until I felt like I had something that fit into the cloth that you stitched from day one. Mobb Deep has a sound. Everybody knows it. There was a period of time after I got on with y'all when I would play beats for certain people and they'd be like, nah, that just sound like some Mobb Deep shit. Like I couldn't even, I was just programmed. And to this day, I still make beats for Mobb Deep and for Prodigy. Like,
No
you know what I'm
doubt.
saying? And,
No doubt.
when those beats come up, thank God we had this record that we were able to put together and put used to it because who else could have rhymed on that joint, son? Come on.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the minute it comes on, the rim shot, that's inspired by you. Like that beat, really, we blurred the lines, I think, because from Against the World to that, they don't know if you did it or I did it.
Right.
Like we've blurred the lines now.
Right,
I feel like that was our job to make a Mobb Deep record,
sure
and I think we did it.
I do believe we did it. It was a pleasure working on the album with you. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise.
And R.I.P. to Prodigy, forever Prodigy.
Word up.
You know what I mean? It's always about him. This is definitely a 21 Gun Salute album for Mobb Deep.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, in general. And, look, thank you, Al.
Come on, man.
ALC.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you for coming through.
Yo, and let me tell you, man, this shit is dope right here, man. For
real.
real. Congrats on the show, and
appreciate you.
I'm tuned in, son. Yeah, you got some shit over here. Come on, man.
Copy that.
Come on.
Infamous Hour, Shade 45. We got ALC in the building.
Yeah.
Thank you for stopping through. We out of here, baby.